Good heavens!
Lads, grab your popcorn cause it's about to get crazy. This just in, King Duncan's been killed in his sleep in his own home. And the spotlight is on one man in Scotland. Macbeth, it's your trial tonight. See you there in Grendel's Supreme Court.
The court is now in session. We are here to hear the case of the Crown versus Macbeth, accused of the murder of King Duncan. Macbeth is presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Prosecution, you may begin.
Members of the jury, this case is not complicated. King Duncan was murdered in Macbeth's home, under Macbeth's roof, while Macbeth was trusted as a loyal host and subject. You will hear Macbeth's own words from that night, and you will hear how he acted right after the murder. The defense will point at the prophecy and at Lady Macbeth, but influence is not the same as force. At the end of this trial, the evidence will show intent, action, and concealment. Macbeth is guilty.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what happened was real and it was horrible. But your job is not to react, your job is to judge. Macbeth was not a criminal by nature. He was respected, he was loyal, and he was brave. Then something changed, and it did not start with a knife. He was shaken by the witch's prophecies, and he was pushed by a partner who knew exactly which buttons to push. You will see a man whose mind was breaking before the act. A man haunted by visions, and a man who did not act with a clear, steady will. If there is reasonable doubt about his mind and his freedom to choose, the verdict must be not guilty.
Thank you. Macbeth, you may take the stand. Prosecution, begin with your questioning.
Macbeth, before that night, you understood that King Duncan was a good and just king, correct?
He was honored by many. He was trusted easily, and he rewarded loyalty. I knew what he was for Scotland.
And he trusted you enough to stay in your castle as your guest.
He did, and I've been carrying the trust as a burden since that day.
You also knew you owed him your loyalty as your king.
I owed him loyalty, duty, and protection. This is what makes it feel like it never ends.
Let's talk about the hours before the murder. You had thought about killing him in that bedroom before anything happened. Did you or did you not?
There were thoughts that came to me like a sickness. I tried to push them away, and they returned. They lingered in my head way longer than they should have.
So you were not acting in a sudden moment with no warning. You had time to think.
Time was there, yes, but it did not feel like time. It felt like a narrowing hallway that kept closing in on me.
On that night, did you carry a dagger towards Duncan's chamber?
I moved toward the chamber. I remember the cold of the metal and the heat in my head at the same time.
Afterwards, you told your wife, I have done the deed, correct?
Those words came out of me. I did not think. I spoke like someone reporting a disaster that he caused with his own hands, like a puppet and his master.
Then the guards were found dead. You killed them.
They did not speak again after I reached them. No.
You understood what that means for the court, Macbeth. The guards were the closest witness. They could have answered questions.
I understand what it looks like. I understand what it took away.
So tell the jury what you want them to believe. You killed the guards out of love for Duncan.
I want them to know what my mind was doing and how quickly I was losing control of it. I walked into that room and saw blood where there should never be blood. And I heard noise where there should be silence. I felt the world tilt.
You are describing emotion. Emotion does not erase responsibility. One more thing. After Duncan was discovered, you gave a speech about your anger, correct?
I spoke, yes. I tried to explain what my body did before my mind could catch up.
And your explanation was convenient because the only people who could challenge your story were dead. Pause for a moment, Macbeth. Answer carefully. Did anyone physically force your hand that night?
No one held my wrist. No one pushed the blade forward with their own fingers. That part I cannot place on anyone else.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Defense, your cross-examination.
Macbeth, before you ever heard the witches speak, did you have any plans to kill Duncan?
No plan lived in me before that meeting. The idea didn't belong to me at first. It arrived like a stranger who refused to leave.
When the witches spoke, did it affect you strongly?
It dug into me. It made my thoughts loud. After that, every quiet moment just felt unsafe.
You told others you were not still thinking about the witches, but in reality, were their words still influencing you?
I said I was free because I wanted to believe it, but their words stayed with me and kept returning.
Let's talk about your state of mind in the moments that led up to the murder. Did you have any visions?
I saw what looked like a dagger in front of me, with the handle facing my hand. When I reached for it, there was nothing there, but I still couldn't stop seeing it.
And what did that vision make you think?
It made me doubt my own senses. It made me fear that my own mind was lying to me.
I want you to speak to the jury in your own words. What was happening with you? Just take your time.
Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation, proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain? I see thee still, and on my blade gouts of blood, which was not so before. There is no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Hear not my steps. While I speak, he lives. Words to the heat of deeds, too cold, breathe gives. I go, and it is done. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
Thank you. When you said those words, were you calm and in control?
No, I was having a breakdown. Part of me watched myself as if I were someone else. Part of me was terrified, and part of me kept walking anyway.
Did Lady Macbeth pressure you in the hours before the murder, Macbeth?
She pressured me directly and made it clear that saying no was not acceptable.
After the murder, did you hear a voice in your head that frightened you?
I thought I heard sleep no more. I felt like the house itself knew what I had done, and every sound turned sharp. I was hallucinating. No question.
So when the prosecution asks you about clear intent, your position is that your mind was unstable. You were not in your right state of mind. Is that true?
My mind was not steady. My thoughts were not normal. They were like a storm that never stopped.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Prosecution, any redirect?
Briefly, Macbeth, you just admitted something important. You said no one physically forced your hand.
Yes.
Okay. And despite fear, despite vision, you still walked forward. You still acted.
I did.
Amazing. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Defense may call its next witness. Lady Macbeth, take the stand. You are under oath.
Lady Macbeth, did you take part in planning the events of the night?
I knew what had to be done, and I made sure the path was open. He hesitated, and I did not allow hesitation to win.
Did you pressure Macbeth?
I challenged him, and I pressured him by using his pride.
When he hesitated, what was his attitude like?
He wanted to step back, and he argued with himself. He looked like a man fighting his own shadow.
Did you prepare the scene, including the guards and the daggers?
I arranged what I could, and I knew the guards would be asleep. I made sure the room would not resist us.
After the murder, when Macbeth returned, what did you observe?
He did not look victorious. He looked shocked, like he could not recognize his own hands. He just kept listening, as if the walls were speaking to him.
In your view, was he thinking clearly like a calm person making calculated decisions?
He was not calm. No. He was clearly shaking.
Objection, Your
He was
Honor.
not-
That's clearly a lie.
Objection overruled.
He was thinking like someone trapped him. He was definitely not thinking like the man I married.
Thank you.
Prosecution, your cross-examination. Prosecution, you may begin.
Thank you, Your Honor. Lady Macbeth, you have been very direct. I appreciate that. Did you personally kill King Duncan?
No, I did not strike the blow.
Did you hold the dagger in Duncan's chamber and commit the murder?
No,
So the person who committed the murder was Macbeth.
he committed the act.
You said you made sure the path was open. You arranged the scene. You admit you pushed him. You also admit you knew a murder was going to happen in that house and yet you were there to help.
I knew. I helped, and I told myself it was strength, but it was not clean strength.
So when the defense says Macbeth had no control, your own words show planning in the house, planning around the guards, planning around the moment.
There was planning, yes.
Exactly. No further questions, Your Honor.
Lady Macbeth, remain seated. I have some questions. Lady Macbeth, under oath, you stated that you helped prepare the condition for King Duncan's murder, and that you actually pressured the accused to carry it out. Do you understand that this may make you legally responsible as an accessory to the crime?
Yes, I do understand.
This trial concerns Macbeth alone. However, based on your testimony, the court finds sufficient cause to detain you for your involvement. Lady Macbeth is to be held in custody and assigned a separate court date.
After everything that has happened, you would still hold me?
Court officer, please proceed.
Lady Macbeth, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. If you don't have an attorney, one will be appointed to you by the state. Do you understand your rights as I have read them to you?
I do. That which made me drunk made me bold. I told myself courage would carry us through. I quieted my fear and even called it strength. But even then, I knew what we were doing could not be undone.
You are to be escorted out.
Bye.
Members of the jury, you will disregard any movement related to custody procedures. Your attention must remain on the charges against Macbeth. Prosecution, you may proceed to closing. Defense will follow.
Thank you, Your Honor. You heard Macbeth speak. He is aware. He understands loyalty and betrayal. He describes fear and pressure. But he also admits the facts. Duncan trusts him. Macbeth had time to think. Macbeth walked into the chamber. Macbeth later said, I have done the deed. Then the guards were found dead. The only direct witness was silence. That was not chaos. That was control. The defense wants you to see Macbeth only as someone influenced. But influence does not remove responsibilities, jury. The law does not require a perfect mind. It requires proof beyond responsible doubt. That proof is before you. Find him guilty.
Defense, you may take the floor.
This case is not about denying the crime. It's about judging the mind behind it. You heard Macbeth describe visions, confusion, and fear. You heard him speak like someone losing control, not gaining it. You also heard Lady Macbeth admit she pressured him and shaped the situation. That does not excuse his actions, but it does matter. If doubt exists about his freedom to choose, the law demands caution. If you cannot say with confidence beyond reasonable doubt that Macbeth acted with a clear and stable mind, you must acquit.
Macbeth, before the jury decides, you may address the court one final time.
I've spoken here as if words could protect me. They cannot. I blame fate. I blamed fear. I blamed others. But no matter where my thoughts go, they return to the same place. I walked forward where I should have stopped. I have listened to the evidence, and I can no longer hide from it. I will not pretend anymore.
That will be all. The jury will now deliberate.
We have reached a verdict.
How do you find the defendant on the charge of murdering King Duncan?
We find Macbeth guilty of all charges.
Macbeth, do you maintain your plea of not guilty?
No, I plead guilty. I made the choice. I acted on it. Whatever else pushed me, I still moved on my own feet and lifted my own hand.
Let the record reflect the defendant's guilty plea following the verdict. The court is adjourned.